From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Thanks for joining us this morning. It's great to see you on a Wednesday. It is November 26th. Let's open up the windows and start a new day.
It's a lot of clothes to pack, it's a lot of snacks to pack, a lot of toys to pack, and so it can be difficult no matter what.
With just one day to go until Thanksgiving, millions of Americans will take to the skies, the roads, or the rails. We're helping you get ready to head out the door towards your holiday destinations.
We'll see an increase of another 2,000 to 3,000 people per day.
Plus, last-minute shoppers packing the aisles to get those Turkey Day meals ready. How busy you can expect your store to be if you still need to shop.
This is a step in the right direction. It's not safe for people to be living out on the street.
Bay Area leaders looking to new ideas for ways to get people off the streets permanently. And that meant a trip to Texas. The plan to provide more than just a home that is now bringing a new sense of hope.
It's ugly and it's cute looking, so I wear it out sometimes.
And it might be on your kids' holiday wish list, the viral sensation of Labubu's and why it became such a cultural moment. Another busy day of holiday travel ahead for millions of people today. We saw some slow and go along Highway 80 last night in the East Bay. Expect traffic to pick up again in the afternoon hours today. The TSA expects to screen nearly 18 million people at airports across the country through next Tuesday. That'll make it another record year for air travel. Veronica Macias is at SFO this morning. We'll hear from her on the travel conditions in just a few moments. But first, let's start with Jessica Birch with your travel forecast. Jess, things are looking pretty good for people here in the Bay Area, but elsewhere, airports across the country, it's a totally different case.
Different case, of course, when it comes to just those TSA lines. Weather-wise, though, we're actually not seeing any weather delays when it comes to those airports, at least in major airports right now. So let's dive into that map real quick because, yes, Max said it perfect. If you're hitting the roads here in the Bay Area, dry surfaces, no slick surfaces, it's great weather for us for this Thanksgiving holiday travel. National airport delays showing no issues right now. It was yesterday that we were keeping a close eye on Chicago, stretched all the way down into Atlanta as they were dealing with some major storms that are now pushing off that East Coast shoreline. Let's head back to the Bay Area, though. I want to pull up the map below me and kind of paint the picture that we're waking up to this morning because there's still dense fog in the Bay as we wake up and head out the door. Right now, the National Weather Service has highlighted all the zones and counties on the map behind me, mostly including Marin, all throughout the North Bay, stretched off into the East Bay too, closer to Concord and Walnut Creek, where daytime highs later into this afternoon are sitting pretty similar to yesterday in the upper 50s and lower 60s, but it's not until around 11 a.m. where this dense fog advisory will actually expire. Similar to what we were dealing with yesterday, so take it slow out there on the roads, of course. Give yourself extra space. I'll have more on this coming up in just a bit. Max?
All right, thank you for that update, Jess. Let's give you a live look at SFO this morning. That will be our busiest airport this week, and it will stay busy through the rest of the year into the new year. SFO officials estimate they will see around 6.3 million travelers through New Year's Day. That would make it about a 4% increase when compared to last year. And that's where we find our Veronica Macias this morning. Hey, Veronica, how's it looking out there?
Good morning. Well, here at SFO outside, you have the breaking lights. You have a lot of families coming in for holiday travel. And hey, it's really good times to travel right now. People are feeling happy. They're excited to see family for Thanksgiving. Think of the movie Home Alone. You have a lot of families who are just dashing through the airport, trying to make it on time to their flight. So we've been here at SFO tracking the flights for you right now. FlightAware not showing any trouble at all. You only have a total of 2 cancellations, so it's smooth sailing. You do have a bit of a line here at TSA. Things are starting to back up. Of course, the morning is always busy, and of course, on this holiday, we can expect to see long lines. So yes, a total of 160,000 forecasted passengers traveling through SFO. In total, like you said, Max, 6.3 million travelers expected at SFO here between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day, an estimated 4% increase over the 2024 holiday travel levels. And people are excited to go home to see family. We caught one family who is on their way to North Carolina.
Good time to travel. It's early. Got 2 kids traveling for the first time with baby. We're all, a little tired, but happy to be going home for Thanksgiving. We're happy that everything seems to be back to normal. Yeah, we're a little worried, but glad that it's back.
Again, right now, things looking very good. Only 28 delays, 2 cancellations. So this may be, the pickup right before it gets quiet on Thanksgiving. That might be the best day to travel, Max.
We love the sound of that, especially for everybody who's going to be getting out later today. All right, thanks, Veronica. We'll check in with you in just a little bit. Let's give you a live look now at the San Mateo Bridge. The CHP kicks off its maximum enforcement period today at 6 o'clock. You'll see more officers on the road looking for impaired drivers. Last year, the CHP said they made more than 1,100 arrests for DUI during this travel period. They're also reminding people to drive safely and wear a seatbelt. More than 1 million travelers are planning on using Amtrak to get to where they need to go this Thanksgiving. We swung by the station in Oakland on Tuesday, where the holiday rush was just getting underway. Amtrak is expecting record-breaking numbers of passengers. That included people like Tariq, who's taken a short trip back to Sacramento before the holiday.
I'm coming for 2 reasons: to see my family, but most importantly, to help make the hummus, because without me, it doesn't taste as good.
More than 1 million people rode Amtrak during the Thanksgiving travel period last year. That was a 4.2% increase from the year before. Moving around the Bay for headlines in your community now. The family of a beloved Oakland teacher is demanding answers and millions of dollars from law enforcement. They say a deadly police pursuit should never have happened in the first place. Back in May, a driver in a speeding car on the run from CHP officers hit and killed Marvin Boomer, a teacher at Castlemont High School. Now, his family plans to file wrongful death claims against both California and the city of Oakland. Their lawyer accuses CHP and Oakland police of negligence, and they're demanding tens of millions of dollars from each agency. If the agencies don't settle within 45 days, a lawsuit could follow. In Monterey County, search crews still have not found the missing service member and student who was swept out to sea, but improving conditions today may help. Crews returned to Soberani's Point Tuesday to search for 35-year-old Amanpreet Thind. He's a U.S. Army specialist and Defense Language Institute student. Divers now have 35 feet of visibility. Teams were able to reach depths of 85 feet upon their last search. State parks also sent aircraft overhead as a part of search efforts. Officials expect calmer surf today, which could speed up the search. East Bay Congressman Eric Swalwell is suing a top Trump housing official, saying he's targeting critics of the president. Earlier this month, Bill Pulte referred Swalwell to the Justice Department for possible mortgage fraud. Swalwell argues it was a politically motivated decision that could hurt his campaign for governor. He's asking the court for damages and for Pulte to withdraw that criminal referral. Berkeley is the latest Bay Area city that is looking to build upwards to keep up with housing demand. Some leaders, they'd like to raise height limits on new buildings, and they are zeroing in on 3 popular shopping areas, sections of North Shattuck, Solano, and College Avenues. But opponents say the plan could hurt businesses and strip neighborhoods of their charm. Kara St. Cyr has more on this familiar debate.
You can just open, and then you can go, oh, do I need more of this?
Leah's watched her mother operate Fern's Garden for 8 years.
The general vibe here is it's just awesome. It's just this lovely little district.
For her family, the setup on Solano Avenue was the pull, but now she's worried that might change.
We just want things to slow down.
The city is weighing a zoning plan that would allow taller, denser housing along commercial corridors like Solano, College, and Northern Shattuck. The buildings could reach up to 9 stories high, and Neil worries that could ruin the neighborhood charm.
I've seen examples in other areas where a developer came in and had a plan and they wanted to build this huge thing, and it really changed the whole vibe of the area.
Fern's Garden is located in northern Berkeley, which has historically been untouched by upzoning.
Most of these are actually renter occupied.
That's why Theo Gordon with YIMBY Action says the proposed plan would be a welcome change.
On these commercial corridors that are extremely high value and people really want to live on, there's a lot of parking lots and empty buildings that could be developed into more housing.
Gordon says the city could provide protections to business owners like Neil while still expanding affordable housing.
Allowing new apartment buildings to be built is not going to change the character of the neighborhood. It's just going to allow, as I said before, more characters to live in the neighborhood.
This zoning proposal is part of the housing element, an 8-year plan to build more housing throughout the Bay Area. Berkeley's current goal is to build more than 8,000 units by 2031.
We want affordable housing.
Leah says she doesn't want to stop that momentum, but still, she's worried.
We just want to collaborate on how exactly that's done to still have an area that people want to be in.
And a place she can continue doing business.
The City Council is still making tweaks to the plan. A final vote is not expected until next summer. Every holiday season, CBS News Bay Area partners with local food banks as a part of our annual Food for Bay Area Families Drive. Yesterday morning, Veronica Macias was out with the Redwood Empire Food Bank, showing how they serve families in the North Bay. And this morning, we'd like to highlight the important work they do and hear from the CEO about how ordinary people can step up to help.
So people are asking this time of year, how can I help? How can I get involved? We ask that people volunteer their time. So we have shifts in the kitchen, we have distribution sites, we even have farm partnerships and at the warehouse. And so people can pack boxes, they can prepare meals and hand out groceries to people that are coming to us for help. Of course, we ask for people to give monetary donations, and for every dollar they give, we can buy $3 worth of food. No gift is too small, so some people give $2 a month and others give $1,000 a month. There really is no gift that we can't make a big impact with.
You heard Allison right there. No gift is too small and they can make a big difference. If you'd like to help out, scan that QR code on your screen. You can find out more about how you can donate to or volunteer at our local food banks. You can also head to kpix.com/give. The time is 6:11 on this Wednesday morning. Yosemite draws in hundreds of thousands of international tourists every year. But soon they might have to pay more than $100 more just to see its beauty. New plan from the Trump administration coming up. And another day of troubles for BART riders after smoke came billowing out of a San Francisco station. What caused another travel mess in the morning commute? Coming up. Let's take you live outside for a beautiful shot of the San Francisco skyline from Treasure Island. Not too foggy to start the day. Jess will have your forecast when we come back. Stay with us.
First Alert Weather, brought to you by AAA Insurance. Get a quote today.
A developing story in China this morning. At least 13 people are dead after a massive fire in several Hong Kong high-rise buildings. Video shows the towers of the residential complex engulfed in flames and smoke rising into the air. The flames spread quickly through the bamboo scaffolding around the 31-story buildings, which were a part of a large apartment complex with about 2,000 apartments. Around 700 people evacuated and now are in temporary shelters. We are watching live video from our many monitors that bring us headlines from across the globe. The FBI has opened an inquiry into 6 Democratic lawmakers, all with military or intelligence backgrounds, after they released a video urging U.S. troops to refuse illegal orders. President Trump fired back online, accusing them of seditious behavior and saying sedition is punishable by death. Now, those lawmakers say they are facing a surge in death threats. The international travelers who visit popular national parks like Yosemite will soon have to pay more to get in. Starting January 1st, foreign tourists will either pay an extra $100 entrance fee or they'll see their annual Parks Pass price jump to $250. U.S. visitors will continue to be charged $80. More than 4 million people visited Yosemite last year. The park's latest data shows about a quarter of the visitors were from outside the United States. With Thanksgiving tomorrow, millions of people will be traveling today. AAA says at least 73 million people are expected to drive to their destinations for the holiday. And depending on where they're headed, weather could complicate their plans. This morning, CBS News senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve is live on the road. Great to see you, Chris. Good morning. And where are you headed?
Good to be with you, Max. We are in the Chapel Hill area of North Carolina. We started in Charlotte, we swing through Raleigh, and then up to Washington, D.C. This evening. You know, some of the most trafficked freeways in the country. And, you know, basically our goal was to get on the road early and hope to beat some of the traffic.
So how is it looking out there on the East Coast right now?
Well, so far, so good. AAA has said that they expected traffic to really start to build around noon. And as we get into the afternoon and rush hour times, that's when the holiday rush and the rush hour home from work sort of mixes together to really create big backups. So So far, so good, but as it's gotten a little bit later in the morning here, we've seen traffic start to pick up a little bit. Likely a similar situation is going to play out in the Bay Area as a morning rush hour gives way. You've got a bit of a sweet spot there to get going. Otherwise, you got to prepare for some traffic.
So do you think it would be better to wait until tomorrow for some people here to wait and just drive Thanksgiving morning to their destinations?
Yeah, one of the real travel hacks, if you don't have to drive too far, Thanksgiving morning tends to have lower traffic volumes than the days around it. And at the airports, there are fewer people flying on Thanksgiving morning. So it is a good day to travel, particularly when the weather is cooperating, if you're not going more than a few hours away.
Chris Van Cleve live for us on the road in Chapel Hill, North Carolina right now. Be safe out there. Always great to see you.
Good to see you, Max.
All right, let's take a live look now outside here at home on this Wednesday morning. Got a beautiful shot, one of my favorite shots of the San Francisco skyline and off into the East Bay. This is from Sutro Tower. Jess Birch joins us now with a look at your forecast. Hey, Jess.
I cannot believe that tomorrow is Thanksgiving. For everybody hitting the roads today or maybe taking to the skies at our local Bay Area airports, things are looking pretty nice weather-wise, so no weather delays at any of our local airports. And on top of that, the best part is, even though we're still dealing with a dense fog advisory once again this morning, this lifts just by 11 a.m. and hitting the roads, especially up in the North Bay, shouldn't be an issue at all. But for all the highlighted zones and counties on this map, similar to what we were dealing with yesterday, just a little bit more centralized off into the East Bay, we do have that dense fog advisory for the morning hours. Now, that's going to change into the afternoon. We're left with drier skies and warmer conditions into this afternoon. Our daytime highs today topping off in the 50s and 60s, widespread throughout the Bay Area. It's a great day to get out there and get some fresh air if you want to do your turkey trot ahead of Thanksgiving Day. This morning is a beautiful opportunity to do so. We're talking about upper 60s over into places like Santa Rosa, low 60s into the city of San Francisco. You stretch all the way down along 101 into the Santa Clara Valley, looking pretty similar there too. Let's talk about some other things going on though, because if you're hitting the skies today, if you're taking to the skies today, I should say, and you're heading to any national airport widespread throughout the country, here's the reality. Yesterday, we were dealing with this huge area of low pressure sweeping across the plains, the south, and all the way up into the northeast, but that's continuing to track off to the east coast today. So if you are planning on heading out to that area, or those areas, I should say, there's no weather delays as of now for those airports. That was not the case this time yesterday over into Chicago or Atlanta for that matter, but things are looking a lot better for them heading into this afternoon. But back here in the Bay, if you are staying local, this is what we're gearing up for. 60s each day mixed in with some upper 50s too. Partly cloudy skies into the afternoon hours. This is a little bit below average for this time of year, especially throughout the next couple days in our inland spots for places like the East Bay and the Santa Clara Valley. We'll continue to see cool conditions as we head into early next week too. I'll have more on this forecast coming up in just a bit, just in time for Thanksgiving. If you're coming in from out of town, welcome to the Bay Area. We're excited to have you. Back to you.
Always happy to have visitors in town. Thanks for that, Jess. Let's talk traffic on this Wednesday morning. BART experiencing a 10-minute delay at the Pleasant Hill station in the SFO direction due to debris on the tracks, so plan ahead if you're taking BART this morning. On the roads, there's an overturned vehicle blocking the left and center lanes on southbound 242, just north of Clayton Road in Concord. Make sure you leave room for emergency crews and expect major delays through that area this morning. The Altamont Pass, traffic is moving a little slower than usual. There's some patchy fog to contend with. That's making it slow and go. Speeds are down to about 15 miles per hour right now. The travel time through that stretch is currently sitting at about an hour. That's a look at your morning commute. 6:21 on this Wednesday morning. The 49ers defense balled out Monday despite a lot of injuries. The players who stepped up big coming up in our Red and Gold report. All right, we have some breaking news this morning. An earthquake reported just near Gilroy in just the past few minutes. The initial readings coming in at an estimated 4.3 magnitude. According to the USGS, there also are potential aftershocks as well, about a 2.7 and a 3.9. Just for reference here, Gilroy is situated between three faults, two of them being the Calaveras and the San Andreas fault. We'll keep our eyes on this situation as it continues to develop this morning. We'll get with more information as it comes in. So stay with us for updates on this earthquake that shook Gilroy earlier this morning. The 49ers are on the road this week for a Week 13 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. As Matt Lively shows us in this morning's Red and Gold report, the defense can't wait to get back on the field.
This is the Audi Red and Gold report.
Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions in the first half Monday night, but Carolina only managed to turn those into 3 points because the 49ers defense feasted on the Panthers.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat.
Yeah, Jair Brown went back for seconds against Bryce Young to help the defense allow a season-low 9 points. Kyle Shanahan called it Brown's best game as a 49er, but he's still hungry for more.
My mama landed in town this morning. There's going to be some great meals cooked. I'm a big dessert guy. I'm going to try to eat a little amount of banana puddings. You know, I ain't going to go too crazy because we got a big game coming up this week.
Malik Mustafa won't be going home for the holidays, but he is looking forward to his next trip back to Charlotte because he's got bragging rights over his buddies after the defense dominated the Panthers in Monday's win.
Oh, yeah, my dog JP, man, he talked about Bryce Young go throw it all over us today. So, you know, I'm going to definitely hit him back, see if he tuned in.
For the Red and Gold Report, I'm Matt Lively.
All right, let's give you a live look outside on this Wednesday morning. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. A beautiful shot to kick off the travel week. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
We have breaking news this morning. We continue to follow an earthquake just shook Gilroy a few moments ago. That initial USGS report showing it was a magnitude 4.3. There appears to have been 2 potential aftershocks as well. Jess Birch going to join us now. A magnitude 2.7 and a 3.9 aftershock. Jess, Gilroy situated between several major faults here in the Bay. What else can you tell us here? Was it a shallow quake?
It was relatively a shallow quake, and what we're continuing to monitor, because this was just within the past 15 minutes, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on those aftershocks. I'm going to show you just in a bit what the USGS has reported when it comes to the potential of seeing anything above a 2.5, but it's already been the case so far. Sure. We've seen 2. So let's head over to the map real fast. We're going to head all the way down south where Gilroy is at. If you were in the Sacramento Valley this morning, or excuse me, the Santa Clara Valley this morning, all the way down near Gilroy 2, that 4.3 magnitude earthquake struck just 15 minutes ago, and we're continuing to monitor those aftershocks here in the Weather Center. Of course, we're going to continue to keep you updated on that fault line too, and what the USGS says when it comes to any potential for a continuation of those aftershocks throughout this afternoon's forecast. Let's get to the skies, though. I want to talk about some other things going on outside this morning. Widespread throughout the North Bay, we are talking about a dense fog advisory for all the highlighted zones and counties on this map. This includes places like Napa, Sonoma, stretched all the way off into the East Bay near Livermore, too. It is cool, it is cloudy out there, and that dense fog can make surface visibility really challenging when you're hitting the roads. And I know it's the day before Thanksgiving, and many of us are hitting the roads or taking to the skies, so just take it slow out there. If you are driving this morning, that dense fog advisory will expire around 11 a.m. this morning. Now, all throughout the Bay Area today, we're talking about upper 50s and lower 60s. Of course, there's some changes in the forecast as we head into next week, but it's very minor for the most part. We're keeping a close eye on those national airport delays. Good news right now, widespread throughout the country. This was not the case yesterday. We're not seeing any delays right now. We're going to continue to monitor the Northeast as there's some storms pushing through the region. Back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Jessica. Meanwhile, if you are flying, let's give you a live look out at SFO this morning. Another busy travel day, so be sure to arrive early if you are flying today. The airport recommending 2 hours for domestic departures and that 3 hours for international. So far, no major delays or cancellations here. If you are flying with any dishes for Thanksgiving, the TSA wants to remind you what is and what isn't allowed on your flight. Most food items will be okay. Baked goods, meats, stuffing, etc., because they are solid items. Gravy, however, won't fly in a carry-on bag. You'll have to check that along with the cranberry sauce and canned veggies and fruits. They're liquids. Got to remember that. So if you are traveling with food, just overall keep it in an accessible spot of the bag in the event you need to go through any kind of additional screening at the airport. Let's give you a live look now in the East Bay. Time running out to get your Thanksgiving fixins for last-minute shoppers. People trying to grab the forgotten items at Safeway in El Cerrito. It is open and ready for business. Doesn't look horrifically busy, but cars are parked there already at 6:33 in the morning, so I'm sure there's some frantic shoppers in there this morning trying to get those last-minute ingredients. BART is back up and running smoothly this morning. It was a very different story yesterday. Here's a look at why. This was smoke near the Civic Center station. It was coming from an electrical fire on the track. It is the second major meltdown for BART this week alone. It caused lengthy delays for people taking BART through San Francisco. San Francisco Fire says the situation started at around 11:30 on Tuesday morning. There's a look at some of the aftermath. BART says an object hit the third rail and blew an insulator. We heard from a witness just outside the station when the fire broke out.
See a lot of smoke coming out from the rail. It's explosion, boom. After that, see a lot of smoke coming out.
BART says the damage wasn't as bad as they first thought. The Civic Center station was back up and running at full capacity a couple of hours later, but definitely some damage there. Moving around the Bay Area for headlines in your community now. North Bay voters could decide whether to keep Sonoma-Marin area rail transit moving or not. According to the Marin Independent Journal, a quarter-cent sales tax that collects more than $51 million annually for the transit agency is set to expire in 2029. Without an extension, it's the end of the rail line. A coalition of smart supporters say they have filed an initiative for a measure on the June 2nd ballot to extend the tax for 30 years. A viral video from a Milpitas pho shop sparked outrage and a shutdown. Now, Santa Clara County says Faux Love is cleared to reopen. The county closed the restaurant last week after video showed an employee slamming frozen ribs on bare concrete outside behind the restaurant. The restaurant inspectors also found no sanitizer, signs of cockroaches, and other food safety violations. After a follow-up inspection, the county lifted the closure order. It's still not clear at this moment if or when the restaurant will open its doors again. A big moment today for some local college students. Their years of hard work are finally headed to space. This morning, a NASA rocket is set to launch from a base near Santa Barbara. On board, a satellite built by Sonoma State students. After 5 years of development and a few delays, their project will head to orbit Earth to collect data on how solar wind affects the upper atmosphere near the poles. Its launch marks a major milestone for the student-led team. Pick a community in the Bay Area, and leaders are trying to figure out how to solve homelessness. But solutions that stick are hard to come by. However, there is a new sense of hope in the South Bay, thanks to a field trip that dozens of Bay Area leaders took to Texas. And that trip involved a tour of a tiny town there. Aside from a few remaining traces of life,
this was probably an RV site.
Columbus Park in San Jose, the once bustling, enormous homeless encampment in Santa Clara County, is now quiet, which to Ray Solnick is admittedly kind of odd.
It's gone. It's just disappeared, which feels weird.
But necessary, he says, for a new reality to take shape. The homeless advocate and CEO of Seeds of Hope Silicon Valley thinks it was the right move for the city to dismantle the encampment and begin an aggressive push to get people into temporary housing.
I feel hopeful because this is a step in the right direction. It's not safe for people to be living out on the street.
He thinks the system in place right now has plenty to offer: interim housing, supportive services, shelters, case management, and more. But these are just steps and not big solutions.
Whether it's parks or street corners, we see people living, laying down on the street. It's got to come to an end. We can do better.
So from his standpoint, it is time to try an entirely new approach. And that is why he and a delegation of more than 60 leaders from communities throughout the Bay Area spent a week in Texas, touring two unique approaches towards permanently getting people off the streets that appear to be breaking barriers. One of them is called Community First.
It's unlike anything that we have today.
It's a 53-acre master-planned neighborhood in Austin, Texas, with permanent housing for people coming out of chronic homelessness. It's not designed to transition people back into society. It's designed to create a new community where people can find purpose. People can get jobs here, access services here, and build new lives here. More than 420 formerly homeless people now call this community home.
People of like-minded backgrounds who've been living out on the street can get to know each other, live together permanently, as opposed to through transitional housing or being moved around at different encampments.
Solnick is working to bring that model home. State Senator Dave Cortese was on the tour.
But we really don't have facilities like this in our area looking around, there's a lot to be inspired by here. There's a lot of good things going on.
He likes the idea of a centralized community-driven approach. He left Texas feeling optimistic that the concept could work in the Bay Area.
We can do this from a cost standpoint, and we can do this in terms of the expertise that we have.
Good morning. And some living in and working with the Bay Area's homeless community share that optimism. Like Charlie, once homeless herself, who now works on case management for unhoused clients.
If it's centralized, then people feel like they belong to a community and they can help each other out and they can celebrate their successes.
And that sense of belonging and purpose, says Francis Shenguya, is something that many people living on the streets are missing.
You have to have a raison d'etre, a reason to live. This is my sleeping bag.
He became homeless in 2017.
I had a home. I was in corporate America working well. I have 4 children.
Over the course of 8 years, he's bounced around the Central Coast and the Bay Area.
Monterey, Salinas, Livermore, California, San Jose, East Palo Alto, Gilroy, and then Mountain View.
While there is more he'd need to learn about the community-first concept, he thinks it sounds promising.
Right now, I won't go to any shelter. And you look at it, I'm not the draggy type, but I won't go to the shelters because they don't treat you right.
Solnick says Seeds of Hope has looked at over 100 parcels of land in the greater Santa Clara County area.
And within that, we've identified about 10 that we believe are viable, whether it's taking into account NIMBY, people who don't want it in my backyard, homeless advocates who don't want to push homeless people out into the corner of the city and create a slum, and environmentalists.
Though there are more hoops to jump through, Solnick is feeling encouraged.
I feel inspired.
As for his why, his drive to make a difference,
I guess like I tell my kids, when we visit someplace, let's leave it in better condition than we found it. And that applies to life too.
A simple yet powerful purpose. So right now, Seeds of Hope is working to build 2 other communities, one in Livermore and one in Tacoma, Washington. The time is 6:41. President Trump says a peace deal to end Russia's war with Ukraine is getting closer. The talks with Russia picking up today. And we'll continue to follow breaking news of several earthquakes reported near the Gilroy area, the biggest reported to be a 4.3 magnitude. We'll have updates with Jess coming up. We'll be right back.
First Alert Weather, brought to you by AAA Insurance. Get a quote today.
Welcome back. We continue to follow the breaking news out of the South Bay this morning. An earthquake shook Gilroy at 6:16 this morning. The initial USGS report showed it was a magnitude 4.3. It has since been downgraded to a magnitude 4.0. There also appear to have been 2 potential aftershocks, a magnitude 2.7 followed by a magnitude 3.9. Gilroy is situated between 3 faults: the Calaveras Fault, the Sargent Fault, and the San Andreas Fault. We're going to have more from Jess Birch in just a few moments on this situation in the South Bay. But first, we are watching live video from our many monitors that bring us headlines from all across the globe. President Trump says a peace deal in Russia's war on Ukraine is closer than ever, claiming his plan to end the fighting has been fine-tuned with input from both sides. He's now dispatching his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, to Moscow for talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in hopes of narrowing the last disputed points. The Kremlin has not publicly spelled out what, if any, concessions it is prepared to make. Infant formula maker ByHeart says all of its formula may carry the bacteria that causes botulism. The company reached the conclusion after tests found contamination in several products they sampled. ByHeart links the recalled formula to more than 30 infant botulism cases in California and 14 other states. They urge every customer to reach out for a full refund on any formula bought since August 1st. New volcanic activity in Hawaii. Episode 37 of the Kilauea eruption put on quite a show. Massive lava fountains began shooting out of the north vent yesterday. Sustained heights reached 400 feet. The geysers are expected to get even higher. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes. Time now for a look at what is coming up later on CBS Mornings. Tony DeCopel joins us live now from New York. Tony, good morning and happy holidays to you.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve, Max. Good morning to you. Coming up on CBS Mornings, millions will be hitting the road to get to their Thanksgiving destinations. And as you know, that includes our own Chris Van Cleve will be back on the air with us from his car in the passenger seat. Don't worry, to let you know if it'll be easy peasy wherever you're trying to go. Probably not. Plus, Nate meets two-time Olympic gold medalist Clarissa Shields, widely considered to be the greatest female boxer of all time. I would agree. They have a very candid conversation about her journey to the top. And singer Matteo Bacelli continues to make a name for himself. He's here in studio to talk about his second solo album, a new tour, and also how he's become a wedding singer for the stars. That's cool. All that and more, 7 o'clock.
Sounds like a great lineup today. Tony, thank you for that. We look forward to seeing it. All right, we continue to follow the breaking news. Back to the earthquakes near Gilroy that struck this hour. What you're looking at on your screen right now is the USGS report map. More than 1,100 people say they felt this earthquake from as far north as Marin, as far south as Salinas. Jess, that would make sense for this one because it was pretty shallow, 2.7 kilometers below the surface.
It was a big shaker for our community members down there. A couple things we also want to talk about is the aftershocks. It only took 4 minutes until we saw our next aftershock of a 3.6. So as we head down into the map, I want to talk about the percentages of what the USGS has reported for this earthquake. Now it's been downgraded to magnitude 4.0. At 6:16 a.m., it shook that area, but it's worth noting a couple things. There's only about a 30% chance, says the USGS, that we could see a magnitude 3.0 or greater aftershock. Well, that's already been the case so far, just within the past 4 minutes after leading this earthquake. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on those conditions. Of course, Max mentioned there was also a shallow earthquake, hence the reason why we were able to feel it all throughout the Santa Clara Valley, stretched all the way up into places like Marin too. Let's change gears real fast though, and I want to talk about a couple other things. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and many of us are waking up to a dense fog advisory widespread throughout the North Bay for all the highlighted zones and counties on this map. This includes Marin. This includes the North Bay, anywhere from Napa over into Sonoma, and right back down into places like Livermore too. So take it slow out there on the roads this morning if you're hitting the roads before that Thanksgiving day. Of course, this will start to lift around 11 a.m., similar to what we were dealing with yesterday, but it is still cool out there. It is still foggy. Of course, visibility is not the best at the surface level. This is the time to maybe just delay your morning travel if possible. We're gearing up for a daytime high sitting in the upper 50s and lower 60s all throughout the Bay Area today. It is a beautiful and mild forecast. It gets warmer the more south you go down into the Santa Clara Valley today, exposed to sunshine already. We're going to continue to see more sunshine into this afternoon. 60s in store for us there. We're seeing similar conditions tomorrow for our Thanksgiving forecast. Now, if you're hitting the roads today, the surfaces are dry, and if you're taking to the skies, well, the good news is we're not seeing any weather delays right now at any of our airports nationwide. That was not the case yesterday. It was challenging getting to places like Atlanta all the way up into Chicago yesterday. The day before, Dallas and Fort Worth, they were dealing with stormy weather, causing a lot of delays there. But now we're starting to see better conditions just in time for Thanksgiving Day. Back here in the Bay, if you're staying local or if you're visiting from out of town, first off, welcome. Second off, we're gearing up for 60s each day as we dive into this weekend's forecast. This is pretty standard for San Francisco and the Bay Area in general. As we make our way over into our inland spots, though, I will say it's a little bit cooler compared to where we're usually at during this time of year. Usually we'll see upper 60s, lower 70s. Right now, we're holding on tight to low 60s each day with partly cloudy skies. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Jess. Let's get to the morning commute now. If you're riding BART, some delays to be aware of this morning. A 20-minute delay in the SFO direction due to debris on the track near Pleasant Hill. There's a 10-minute delay at Concord in the Antioch direction due to a medical emergency. We'll stay in Concord now, but on the road, the overturned vehicle we told you about a little bit earlier this morning, that has now been cleared from southbound 242, but we're still seeing some stop-and-go traffic in the area with speeds at about 20 miles an hour along that stretch. Heading over to the Bay Bridge, take a look at this. Nothing to talk about there except smooth sailing on this morning. No backup at all. Should be a smooth ride as you make your way into the city. That is a look at your morning commute.
Thank you, Bruce. This statue is for you. Thank you.
Tomorrow marks what would have been Bruce Lee's 85th birthday, but the Chinese Historical Society of America Museum excuse me, is honoring the martial arts icon today. It's free admission to the museum's exhibition dedicated to Bruce Lee. The action hero was born in San Francisco's Chinatown and went on to inspire millions of people around the world. By the way, the Historical Society is working to raise $250,000 to build a Bruce Lee statue in Chinatown. They hope to get one done in 3 to 5 years. A holiday tradition is coming to life in the South Bay. They are setting up for Christmas in the park at Plaza de Cesar Chavez in San Jose. It is a tradition that dates back more than 45 years. We met Rebecca, who was there decorating a memorial tree for her husband, Doug. They used to come here every year with their kids. He passed away 5 years ago. Now, every year, she tells all of their friends where Doug's tree is located, and they send pictures when they come and visit.
It means the absolute world. He was the kindest, most wonderful person I'd ever met, and it just means the world that people still find the importance of making sure that he's remembered.
Christmas in the Park is a free event with music, lights, a train, and visits from Santa. It officially opens on Friday. 6:52 on this Wednesday morning. The Labubu craze may have cooled off, but these little monsters might just be the perfect gift for your kiddos the holiday season. We take a look at the latest toy craze coming up next. And let's take you live outside for a beautiful shot of the Bay Bridge on this Thanksgiving Eve. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We continue to follow breaking news out of the South Bay this morning. An earthquake shook Gilroy at 6:16. The initial USGS report shows it was a magnitude 4.3. It has since been downgraded to a 4.0. There appears to have been 2 potential aftershocks as well, a magnitude 2.7 followed by a magnitude 3.9. Just so you know, Gilroy is situated between 3 faults, the Calaveras, Sargent, and San Andreas faults. We'll have more on that when we see you on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12 at 7 o'clock. Time now for your Money Watch reports. Taking a live look at the big board this morning, starting the Thanksgiving Eve in the green. The Dow slightly up this morning. We'll keep our eyes close on that. New numbers are out on retail sales and consumer confidence, and it's slightly below expectations. The Commerce Department says retail sales in September ticked up just 0.2%. That was a little bit lower than expected. Meantime, consumer confidence dropped to its lowest level since April. A new survey shows Americans feel uneasy about rising costs, the job market, tariffs, and political uncertainty. New signs that home buyers are gaining bargaining power. Home price growth slowed while home sales rose in most of the country in October. Nationwide, home prices were only 1.2% higher, but pending home sales rose nearly 2% from September. The National Association of Realtors said that brings its index to the highest level in a full year. Home sales were up across the country, except in the West.
Yeah, better work. It's not like we're conspicuous or anything.
Stranger Things fans, season 5 finally drops tonight after a 3-year wait. Netflix rolls out the first 4 episodes now, part 2 on Christmas, and the final hits on New Year's Eve. These popular toys may be on your kids' wish list. Labubus. We're still talking about these things. It's crazy, isn't it? The summer hype may have cooled down, but don't count them out just yet. Like Cabbage Patch Kids and Beanie Babies before them, these toys could explode again this holiday season. Jeff Wagner looks into what sparked the obsession and why it might come roaring back.
Fluffy, wide-eyed, and with a toothy grin, Labubu dolls might look like nothing more than another plushy toy.
It's soy milk!
But try telling that to the millions across the world who can't wait to get their hands on one. Shua Zhang was gifted the one hanging from her purse.
It's ugly and it's cute looking, so I wear it out sometimes.
Chris Byrne is a toy consultant and historian known as the Toy Guy.
What is a Labubu doll?
Labubu are monsters. They're called little monsters. They were first introduced in about 2015.
Created by Chinese toy maker Pop Mart, the dolls were just another one of their tiny creations until last year, when it exploded into a fashion must-have, aided by K-pop star Lisa from the group Blackpink.
And it became a viral sensation without really any kind of promotion whatsoever.
Fans took care of that themselves.
What traits can make a toy go viral or sort of become a cultural moment?
I think that one of the biggest traits is that it has to leap out of the toy business.
Byrne says Labubu is now more of a fashion accessory, and they're hard to find. These Pop Mart machines were sold out. Limited availability intensifies the demand, a timeless trait. Remember Cabbage Patch Kids in the early 1980s?
How long have you been waiting? Since midnight.
People were fighting over them in the aisles of Kmart. That became a news story. So then suddenly it became something that the culture was talking about. But there's no rhyme or reason to it. Something catches the imagination of the public, and people are off and running with it.
Until the next hot toy comes along.
Tough to get your hands on. Coming up on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12, it is Wired Wednesday, and with Black Friday and Cyber Monday just around the corner, we will take a look at some big tech deals to help your wallet this holiday season. And it is another busy travel day at SFO. We are tracking disruptions and helping you get ready as you head out the door if you're planning on hitting the skies this holiday travel period. And let's give you a live look outside, a beautiful shot of the fog and the sunrise this morning. We hope to see you over on Pix Plus 44 Cable 12.